So I wanted to share this because this like melted my heart. One of my students made like a sign that said happy birthday Miss Ferré, had all the kids sign it this morning, and then they like all sang happy birthday to me. I got a few more little birthday gifts today and I loved these because they were homemade and I just love that. I graded my students' quizzes that they took today. Oh my goodness, you guys, my students nailed it. Good morning, YouTube. Today is one of those days where typically I don't put my hair up in a ponytail until like halfway through the day, but today it went up right away because I have no hopes of trying to look decent today. I'm very tired and I shouldn't be because I had a wonderful birthday weekend. Billy had been asking me what I wanted to do and I kept saying nothing, and it wasn't because I was being indecisive. I literally wanted to do nothing, and that's kind of what I did, and it was really nice. Like, I slept in, I ate some really good food, I laid around on the couch, and like that's what I wanted, was a weekend to not have a busy schedule. Like, I literally did not want a schedule. I wanted to just do things as I wanted to do them, and that was fantastic. But it's then very difficult to come back to reality on a Monday and come back to having a very hectic schedule. And I'm a big believer in activity leads to more activity and inactivity leads to more inactivity. So basically, like, when you're really productive, you tend to keep doing more. And then on days when you just kind of lay around, you don't get anything done because it perpetuates itself. So I've had a big weekend of inactivity, which is fine, but now I need to have a big week of productivity. So I'm gonna go ahead, head to school this morning. I've collaborative planning with my team teachers, and then I will catch up with you all after that. So I wanted to share this because this like melted my heart. One of my students had asked for a piece of like poster paper or chart paper on Friday, and she brought it home over the weekend, made like a sign that said happy birthday Miss Ferré, had all the kids sign it this morning, and then they like all sang happy birthday to me. They just like did it on their own, which was awesome. So that melted my heart. I also got some other like cards and things from some students and this little pumpkin. One of my old team teachers who was on our team last year gave me this Create notebook, which is Ray Dunn. Love that. And it's like a nice thin notebook, which is nice to carry to meetings and things. This is from one of my former students, but I thought this was hilarious because she got this picture of me from online, and the note was just really, really sweet. And then I got this cup from another student, and I think this is gonna be my water cup for like the month of October because I love this. It says Witch and Famous, and then it's filled with Reese cups, which I will absolutely enjoy. It is after school. In fact, it is about 6:30. I had girls on the run until 5:15, and then I came back and I had some grading, but I am now about ready to get out of here. Before I do that, I do want to go ahead and quickly talk to you all about morning meeting. So this is something that I do with my class every morning, and I typically have about 10 minutes, so I do have to make it pretty quickly, but it is totally worth it. It's one of my favorite parts of the day. I will say that last year I was so bad about doing morning meeting, like it just didn't happen because the morning is so hectic, and we have our cultural arts, or like our planning time, first thing in the morning. So it's always very hectic trying to get there in time, but this year I've really made it a goal of mine to make sure that I get to morning meeting every single morning, unless there's something crazy going on. But so far it's been working out really, really well. So I'm gonna quickly show you on the computer how I organize it. If you're not sure what a morning meeting is, you can Google it, and there's different variations of it. Personally, I always have a message that I read to my students, and then there's a greeting, a sharing, an activity, and a goal. Now, I purchased these slides off of TPT, so I will link them for you in the description box. I really like them because they help me stay organized throughout the week. I personally am just using these slides where it kind of has it all on one page, but this pack also comes with these individual slides, so one for the greeting, one for the goal, one for sharing, one for the activity, and these little parts right here you can actually copy and paste. So it comes with all of these pre-made greetings that you can use, pre-made things to share, pre-made goals, all that, which I really, really like because then you don't have to think about it. You can literally just take one of these, copy it, and paste it onto the slide. Now, I used to use these a lot more, but what I've actually started doing is I just copied and pasted the Monday through Friday slides into my like weekly PowerPoints, and I just use them throughout the week, and I just use the one slide where it's all written on here. So this is where I put my message. My message is always like greeting them, saying how happy I am that they're here, maybe sharing something that happened to me like last last night or in the morning, because I always like to keep them updated in my life. And then sometimes I share little cool like fun facts and, you know, the national day or whatever. And I always tell them that I hope we have a great day. So that was my message that I gave to my students this morning. And then over on the side, it has the greeting, the sharing, the activity, and the goal. So for our greeting, there's tons of little games you can play, but I don't have a lot of time. So I always do like quick greets. So things like a high five or a fist bump, saying hello in different languages. So this morning we did a high five. Then they shared the highlight of their weekend. I do that every Monday. The activity, which we actually didn't get to this morning, but we were going to play four corners, which if you don't know what that is, basically the students will all go to a corner in the room. One person will have their eyes closed. They will pick a corner, and if you're in that corner, you're out. And you keep going until one person is left. And then we always set a goal for the week. I don't do a different goal every day. I keep the same goal all week. So last week on Friday, I looked inside of their desks, and there were all kinds of papers and pencils and things. So my students are supposed to take all their things with them, either put them in their locker, take them home, whatever. They're not supposed to leave things in their desk. So our goal this week is to leave our desks empty, because that's something I noticed yesterday. So I already have tomorrow's message ready to go, and it's kind of reminding them about getting out their agenda. We need to write about our Radiant Olympics cards, and then warning them that tomorrow is an early dismissal day, so our schedule will be different. On Tuesdays, I always do like an international greeting. So tomorrow we will say good morning in Italian, which is ciao. They're going to share a long-term goal that they have. We're going to play Andy's Coming, where basically they all walk around the room, and then one student says, Andy's coming. They have to drop down to the floor and stay completely still, and whoever Andy is will walk around and check to see if they are moving, and then the same goal. I already have Wednesdays typed out because, again, I'm reminding them of that schedule change and kind of how our day is going to look. Our greeting is butterfly, where basically students will interlock their thumbs and kind of wave their fingers to make it look like a butterfly. They're going to share what they're going to do with their extra time, because we have a 2-hour early dismissal on Wednesday. The activity will be incorporations, which I love. I will tell them, like, get into groups of 3, and it doesn't matter who they're with, but they have to be in groups of 3, and then whoever doesn't get into a group of 3 is out. Then Thursday, I don't really know what my message is going to be yet. I'm going to kind of wait to see what I want to add in there later in the week. They are going to do a pinky shake, where they just shake pinkies. They're going to share their favorite flavor of ice cream, just kind of helps them to get to know each other. We're going to do an activity called Gone Missing, where we get in a circle. 2 students go out in the hall. 1 student from the circle hides, and then those 2 students come back in, and it's kind of a race to figure out who can name the person that is now missing. And then same thing for Friday. I don't have my message yet, but I always do Fist Bump Friday, where they greet each other with a fist bump. They always share what they're looking forward to on the weekend, and they always play coconut because it's one of their favorites. It's basically rock, paper, scissors. If you're a coconut, you're on your knees. You have to play against another coconut. If you win, you become a palm tree, where you're standing and kind of flapping your arms. Palm trees play palm trees. If you win, you become a volcano, where you're kind of jumping up and moving your arms like lava. If you lose, you go back down to a coconut. And then once 2 volcanoes go against each other, the winner gets to go back to their seat, and they are finished. So hopefully this kind of gave you a little idea. If you've never done a morning meeting, I highly suggest you try it. It's great for building classroom relationships and getting to know your students and having them get to know you and get to know each other. And it just really kind of sets the tone for the beginning of the day, which I love. Good morning, YouTube. It is a nice, cool fall morning, which I'm excited about. Some people are always in good moods in the summer because it's warm and sunny. I am always in a good mood in the fall because I just love fall weather. I do have planning time this morning, thank goodness, because I have a little bit of grading to do from an assignment from Friday that I didn't get to. I don't really need to plan tomorrow because my students are taking a quiz and it's early dismissal day, but I need to start planning Thursday and Friday, and I also need to start planning my observation lesson. I'm being observed next Monday, but I am meeting with my administrator on Thursday for my pre-conference. So I need to work on that, but I don't have any coaching to do today after school, so it'll give me a little bit more time as well, and then I can work on it tonight. I know that it will all work out, and I'm not going to worry about getting stressed out about it. I got a few more little birthday gifts today, and I loved these because they were homemade, and I just love that. So first of all, this sweet girl gave me some homemade apple butter, and then she gave me 4 different types of apples, which I thought was adorable. And then there are even instructions: no preservatives, all natural, use within 1 week after opening, refrigerate after opening, and enjoy. That was super sweet. And then I also had a student's family who made me this Redskins coffee cup holder. So it just has the stretchy part right here, and it hooks around the button and it goes around your coffee, and that was absolutely amazing. And I love that it is handmade. This is my iPad, and I have kind of started just like bulleting out my lesson for my observation for Monday. I kind of started filling out the lesson plan, but I'm going to work on that more tonight at home and then tomorrow. And then I got quizzes ready for tomorrow. I'm giving a quiz in both block 1 and block 2 because I only have students for 50 minutes, and we just finished up that unit, so we need to give a quiz. So I have these ready. They're slightly differentiated for my 2 classes, and then tomorrow I will try to get those graded. So it is now 6:15. I'm about to head out of here and meet Billy at the gym to get our workout done, and then I need to go home and work on my observation lesson plan because it is a formal observation and I have to write up a formal lesson plan. It ends up being like 5 or 6 pages long, but thankfully I have my one from last year as kind of like my template, and then I can see what I wrote last year and just kind of change things as needed, so it's not quite as difficult as it was last year. And before anyone says anything, my new county here, I have 2 observations each year. One is formal, one is informal. So basically one of them I know about ahead of time. I write a formal lesson plan. The other one, I don't know exactly when they're coming in, and I don't have to write a formal lesson plan. If you are unfortunate and you do not have any observations where you know ahead of time, I feel you, because in my old county, I had 4 observations a year and I never knew about any of them. They would just come in randomly. So I totally understand. Every county is different. They both have advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, it is a blessing to know in advance when my observation will be, but at the same time, having to write a very formal and lengthy lesson plan, like I said, 5 to 6 pages for one lesson, it is a lot, but I actually really enjoy it because it makes me think about every component of the lesson and just making sure that it's really going to meet all of my students' needs. All that aside, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here. I have been fighting a migraine all day, which is not fun, and I even took medicine for it this morning and it did not really help. I was able to kind of fight it off most of the day. I had the lights off and everything, and that helped, but since after school it's just been getting worse and worse. So I'm gonna go get my workout done, get home, eat some dinner, work on my lesson plan, shower, and get ready for tomorrow. Good morning, YouTube. So today is an early dismissal day. So instead of dismissing at 3:40, our students will dismiss at 1:40. We have an hour of PD this morning before the kids come, and then we have 2 hours of PD after they leave in the afternoon. So I decided I'm gonna go get myself a coffee because today is my double star day at Starbucks, and I thought that that was just perfect timing because if I'm gonna sit at meetings, I wanna have some coffee to drink. And during class today, we're gonna have 15-minute blocks in the morning. My students are just taking a quiz. So I thought that today was just a very good day to get coffee. So I'm gonna go do that, and then I will catch up with you all at school. So this was super sweet. I got called down to the office this morning, and like, you know how instantly your heart is like, oh my gosh, what did I do? But it was actually a good thing. One of my students had dropped off this coffee and it said happy belated birthday. So I got myself coffee this morning. So I'm gonna be so caffeinated today, which is perfect for what I need. And I'm gonna work on during my planning time making my answer keys for both of these quizzes. So hopefully I can get them graded like as my students are turning them in. Update, it is now 5:15. Our students were dismissed at 1:40, and then starting from 2 o'clock all the way up until 4 o'clock, we had professional development, and the focus of the professional development today was implicit bias, which actually got a lot of really good information. I think it's something that we all just need a reminder about sometimes, and if you don't know what implicit bias is, I'm gonna link a TED Talk video down below that is really, really helpful. So that finished up, and then I came back to my classroom. I graded my students' quizzes that they took today. Oh my goodness, you guys, in terms of like all the quizzes that I've given, definitely this year, but even like last year, like my students nailed it, and I'm just so happy for them, and I feel so good, and it's just a really good feeling as a teacher. So I do want to quickly walk around my room and point out a couple of good things, because I posted on Instagram about this last night. Sometimes as teachers, we can get so caught up on all of the negative things. So things like my class is chatty, or my students don't follow directions, or my students leave the classroom a mess. And yes, that does get frustrating sometimes as a teacher, but I think it's important to always stop, slow down, and focus on the things that you are grateful for, the things that your students do really, really well. So I wanted to take a minute and do that, and then I'm gonna show you some new things that I either got from my classroom or tried out in my classroom. First thing I am grateful for, I have a student that I have basically trained, and every day at the end of the day, she goes and she changes my schedule for the next day. She also changes the date, and it's just amazing. I never have to remind her to do it. She just does it on her own. Second thing I'm grateful for is I made our class goal this week, leaving the desk empty, and today it finally happened. Every single desk was completely empty except for the textbook and the dry erase board that stay in the desk all the time. Here are my class fuzzy jars, and both of my blocks today earned a fat fuzzy, what we call a fat fuzzy, or sometimes we call it a Chubbs. So my block 1 got their first one ever, and then my block 2 got their third one, and they're getting very close to filling their jar, so that is fantastic. So now let's talk about some new things that I either got or tried out today in my classroom. First of all, these partitions or privacy boards, whatever you call them. Our Right Start advisor, who focuses on working with new teachers in the building, even though I'm no longer working with her, she still comes in and like checks in on us and all that. So my team teacher and I were talking about how we really wanted something to help our students focus when they're working. So I don't know where she got these from. I don't know if she made them. I don't think she did. I think she just got them from somewhere. I don't know. But either way, the day after we asked for those, she came back with these. So these, because I can tell that they were just kind of made, because you can see the duct tape. I think these boards came from like the Dollar Tree, and they were like shorter, so she just taped them together, or someone taped them together, I don't know. But it just has duct tape, so basically, I'll kind of show you what it looks like standing up. It can sit on the student's desk, and then it has the 2 sides, and it helps them to focus on their work, so they're not distracted by the students next to them. I have over 30 students. I only have about 10 boards, I think. I have 8 of these smaller ones, and then I do have 2 of these large ones, but these ones actually don't fit on the desk, so they can only work at like the back table or this round table over here. But total, I have 10. I definitely think I want to go ahead and make some more, because I used them today during the math quiz, and holy guacamole, it was like a different classroom in here. I also give my students brain sprinkles, which, hold on, I will show you those. They're over here in my little classroom management tools. I know I've talked about these before, but in case you don't know, this is just a little container from Dollar Tree, and it is filled with glitter. And then I'll quickly show you here the little spout. I actually covered it with tape, so only a tiny little bit is showing. And I always sprinkle this on my students' head, or if they don't want it on their head, on their paper, before they take a test or a quiz, and it just makes them do that much better, and it's more so a confidence thing, and it just makes them excited, and I love it. So I gave them that today, and that plus the partitions or privacy shields made a huge difference, and that's how both of my classes were able to earn a fat fuzzy or a Chubbs. The other new thing, we actually got this at our PD, so this was created by our guidance counselor. She put these together for all of the teachers in our building, which is absolutely amazing. This is a calm down kit. So this is meant for students who are frustrated, stressed out, whatever it is, anxious maybe. They're able to come and get some kind of a fidget or something to focus like their sensory needs on, so that they can help to calm down. Now, I don't know exactly where I'm going to put this in my room yet. I want it to be something my students can access when they need it, but I don't want it to be a toy. And I'm going to have to explain how it's a tool, not a toy. But regardless, I wanted to show you what is in here because I'm really excited about it. So first of all, we have these calm down jars, and there's tons of like YouTube tutorials, Pinterest tutorials that show you how to make these. So I'm not going to go into detail about that, but you can just Google it if you are interested. But basically, students shake it, and then they watch the glitter and then the balls that are on the inside to calm down. We also have one of these little squishy balls, and like I said, my guidance counselor put these together, so I don't know exactly where to get these, but I'm pretty sure you can get them from like Amazon or Oriental Trading. And then there is this ball, which I really like. It has this like mesh around it, so when you squeeze it, it goes through it and it actually changes color. So I really like this. I will probably use this myself. And then this little like P thing. I don't know what it's actually called, so if you know, comment down below and let me know. But basically this is like a rubbery material, and you squeeze and the little P comes out, and it actually has a face. Hold on, it's on this side. You can kind of see its eyes. Let me do it up close so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, it has a little face. It's so cute. So all 3 of those do that, but they are connected on the inside so they don't actually come out. And then there is this, and it just has a marble on the inside so you can kind of move it back and forth, and I thought that that was really cool. And then this is a little fidget. I don't know exactly what it's called, but I like it because it's nice and quiet, and you can just kind of move it around like this. So I am very excited to have this because I think it's important to have options for when students need that sensory relief. I just have to decide exactly how I'm going to kind of manage it in my classroom, but I actually may go ahead on Amazon myself and get a couple of other things to add to this kit. I've got a couple ideas, so once I actually get that, I will be sure to share with you all. So next update, it is now 6:15. Since last time that I talked to you, I was kind of just killing time because I knew that Billy wouldn't get off work until 6 o'clock, and then we typically meet at the gym at 6:30 because the gym is like literally on my way leaving the school. So I decided to go ahead and clean out my file drawer. So back here I have my different colored drawers. So I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, and where I keep extra papers. And then over on this side I have my grade drawer, so anything I need to grade, my copy drawer for things that need to get copied, and then my file drawer. And I will be completely honest and say that that file drawer was literally like about to burst because I had just put all papers in there since the beginning of the year. I had not actually organized them into my binders, so I finally did that, and I just feel so much better. Now, in terms of how I actually organize things, I'm not going to get any of it out because it obviously has student information all over it. However, I will tell you, I have a homeroom binder, block 1 binder, and block 2 binder. My homeroom binder is where I keep, obviously, all of my homeroom students' information, but it's things like their emergency information, papers that they've had to get signed, progress reports, receipts for like money that they've turned in for things, and that's all organized in the binder. I used to organize it for each student, but I actually tried something different this time, and I organized it by like type of paper. So all of the progress reports are together, all of the emergency papers are together, and they're all in their own little dividers. So I think that that's going to work a little bit better this year. And then for block 1 and block 2, they are organized for each student, and I keep a roster at the beginning of the binder, and then I have numbers down the side so I can reuse the dividers every year, and I just look on the roster to see what number the student is. But that's where I keep copies of their work. So if it's an assignment that they struggled with, I will make a copy and stick it in the binder. That way when conferences come around, I have that. Also, when I'm going around with my clipboard cruising and taking little notes on the students, I put that in that binder. When I actually conference with the parents, that paper afterwards will go in the binder. So that's kind of where I house all of my like academic type data information, and then all those forms from the beginning of the year go in the other binder. So hopefully that made sense. It probably made none whatsoever, but I need to go ahead and head to the gym, and then tonight I need to finish my lesson plan for my observation because I'm meeting with administration tomorrow for my pre-conference. So wish me luck tonight, and then I will catch up with you all in the morning. No. Good morning, YouTube. It is 39 degrees out this morning, so fall has come in fast, but that's okay by me because I love fall weather. I got my observational lesson plan done last night. It is a total of 6 pages, but I feel good about it, and thankfully I was able to just keep a lot of the stuff that I had from the last time that I wrote it. Even though it's a totally different lesson, you know, a lot of the things that you do are the same, and I was reading what I wrote like last year and I was like, wow, Michelle, you did a good job on this lesson plan. So it honestly was not as difficult as I thought that it was going to be. I am meeting with my administrator this morning around 9:15. I have to get my TA to cover my class so I can go down there and meet with her, but I'm happy that it's done. All I have to do is make my like slideshow this weekend, and then I am all set. So I'm gonna go ahead and head to school, and then I will catch up with you all there. here's what I'm taking with me to the pre-conference. First of all, I have my actual lesson plan. Like I said, it's about 6 total pages long. I also have a copy of the lesson from the curriculum, and then I have a copy of the pre-assessment because I'm giving it today, so I don't have my students like actual data yet, but that's okay. I can just kind of show like, here's what I'm giving them today. And then I have my block 1 data tracker because I am going to be observed for block 1. So this just has all of my like observational data that I've been collecting thus far. I wanted to talk to you all about Nearpod. This is something new that I did with my class today. I had never really done it before. It's something I had heard of and I knew about. I had just never actually done it. And now that I've tried it with my class, I absolutely love it. So the website is just nearpod.com. I will link it for you in the description. It's free to sign up, but you do have to pay for some of the features, like some of the more premium features, but there's plenty of stuff that you can do for free. So how it works, I actually run it off of my phone. So I have the Nearpod app, which is free, and I just open it up. And then this is actually the presentation that I made. It was talking about unusual animal eyes. So I would click it on here, and then I would go to launch, and I did a live lesson. So it's going to give me a code. So if I look here, my code as it's loading, there we go. So JKWUT. My students would go to the Nearpod website and they would type the code in up here, or we actually have this like class link page that keeps all of our different like websites. And when they go to it from here, they hit skip and then they can just put the code in right here. So it was JKWUT and it gives a different code every time. And then students put their name. I'm just going to type random stuff and then join the session. They will actually see on their screen what I have on my screen. So if I go to continue down here at the bottom, I can actually change through the slides, and you'll kind of see here, like as I change through the slides, it also changes on the computer. But what I really like about it is you can actually put slides where they have to write responses. So let me go to one of those. Here we go. So this one, it said, why do you think prey animals would have horizontal pupils? So they were able to type their answers. So again, I'm just going to type like random stuff, submit, yes. And then down here, it will actually pop up on my screen. And then I could choose to actually share it. So if I wanted the entire class to see that response, I could put it up on the entire screen. And I just really loved this. Now that is not a premium feature. Basically, I just took a PowerPoint presentation and uploaded it and then added in those questions. The only part of this that actually is premium for what I used is at the very end, I had my students do a matching activity. So right here, it will have a timer for 1.5 minutes, and that's what I set it for, and they're gonna be matching. So I actually decide when they're gonna start so I can give the directions, and they can't do it until I actually let them know. When I hit start activity, it will start counting down, and then they will be able to actually click. So like a fly has compound eyes, and then they can match them. So I just thought that this was really cool, very interactive. I had my students do this on Chromebooks. So basically every student had a Chromebook in front of them and they were just following along with what I was doing on the screen. So it just really kept them engaged and interactive, or interacting, I guess would be the way to put it, with my lesson. And especially some of the pictures that I was using, it was really cool to put it up close and personal on their screen, and they could even like zoom in on it, which I just think was really good, especially for science. But you could do this with tons of different topics. So I just wanted to introduce this to you. If you want more information, I'm sure if you go on like YouTube and type in like Nearpod, you can find tons of more like actual information, but I just wanted to kind of throw this out there as an idea for something you could try. So it is now 6:10. I actually had Hero Boys and Girls on the Run today because Hero Boys got moved from yesterday to today. So I tried to like do both, but it was hard. So I went to Hero Boys and then I ended up going to Girls on the Run at like the very end, but I helped at least with dismissal during Girls on the Run. So I just got back to my room, and good news is I'm actually all planned out for tomorrow. Yes, go me. During my planning time today, I was able to get it done. So that was awesome. And that's good because tonight I want to start working on my PowerPoint for my observation. So it's less for me to do this weekend. My pre-conference earlier went really well. My administrator kept my lesson plan so that she can look over it and then she'll let me know if she has any like questions or anything needs to be changed. but I'm happy, and I think I'll be even happier on Monday just to have it done. Not that like, oh, I want to have it done, but I get very nervous for these things, so I always feel better, like I feel relief when it's done. Plus, I'm honestly really curious to get feedback, and that's one of the things that I really liked is my administrator asked, like, what do you think you're gonna do really well, like as a glow, and then what are you thinking that you want me to kind of give you feedback on, like that you need to grow in. So I'll just be interested to kind of get that feedback. And you know, sometimes like when you're doing things, you just don't realize everything until you get like an outsider's perspective. So all that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here, and then I will catch up with you tomorrow. Thank goodness, TGIF. Good morning, YouTube. Happy Friday. I am wearing today my Pay It Forward t-shirt, and this came from the Blue Envelope, the same company that makes those t-shirts that I wore. Came out with this shirt recently, and I was like, yes, I need that, so I bought it, and I think my students are gonna be excited because I talked to them a lot about like paying it forward and making an impact and all that. So I'm gonna go get me some coffee this morning, and I'm gonna pay it forward and pay for the person behind me, and I'm gonna get to school. I don't really have a whole lot that I need to get done before the kids come, which is good because I like to have just kind of like free time to be able to do little things that I need to get done in my room. Like I need to change out my bulletin board, I need to make math homework for next week, and I need to get manipulatives ready for my observational lesson on Monday. So I'm gonna go ahead, get to school, and then I will catch up with you all there.
Good morning, can I get a medium hot vanilla latte, please?
I forgot to mention this yesterday. We did get second place again for Reading Olympics this week. It's kind of frustrating. I really want my class to be able to win, so we're gonna try again next week. It's okay because even with second place, we actually get 3 books for our classroom library, which I'm really excited about. So I'm gonna add that. I have a pile right now of books that I need to like label before I can put them in my library, so maybe next week that will be one of my goals to get done. So it is already the end of the day. I've been the worst vlogger ever. However, I wanted to show you how I am leaving my desk because I am being observed on Monday. So that right there, it's turned over, but it is a copy of my seating chart, which I will give to my administrator so she can keep track of like who I'm calling on and all that good stuff. This is math homework, which I have to hand out on Monday, so I want to make sure I leave it out so I don't forget. And then these papers I need for my actual lesson. This is the check for understanding that I will give to students at the very end, kind of like an exit ticket. This is a template that I will give to students who need a little bit more support. So we're going to be starting multiplication, and we're going to be using base 10 blocks to multiply. So for my students who are just struggling a little bit, this will help give them a little more structure. And you'll notice I put a pink dot up in the corner. That makes it really easy to differentiate, because as I start handing out papers to students, I can then say like, okay, if you have a pink dot, you're going to go over here. These ones have a blue dot. Like if you have a blue dot, you're going to go here. And it just makes it really easy for students to kind of be differentiated without them really realizing it. Then this paper right here is more of an extension for my students who need some enrichment and they need more of a challenge. They're going to come up with some more animals and come up with their own numbers and then solve them. So I will talk more about my actual observation in next week's vlog, because I will show you on Monday like how I am set up in my PowerPoint and all that good stuff. But this is how I'm leaving my classroom on Friday afternoon. It is the end of the day, like I already mentioned, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up this vlog. I did not have planning time today, so I could not vlog then. Plus, my TA ended up getting pulled to sub, so the time before my kids came in, I kind of spent that like trying to get prepared for what I was gonna do without her. However, I will say for a Friday, today was I mean, every Friday is good, but my students were pretty focused, and typically on Fridays, we're all tired, we're all exhausted, we're all not as focused as we were earlier in the week. So usually Fridays are a little bit of a struggle. However, today, like I actually felt really good, and I felt like my students were really focused for it being Friday, which obviously makes me very happy. And I'm gonna try to take some time for myself this weekend to try to relax and rejuvenate before my observation on Monday. But I have grad schools to work on, and I kind of have to prepare a little bit more for my observation, but I'm gonna try to squeeze it in. It's all about balance. I'm actually gonna start by going and meeting Billy for dinner tonight. So if you enjoyed this vlog, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and also hit the notification bell so that you are notified every time I post a new video. And as always, thank you for watching. I love you all so, so much. Don't forget to think positive, and I'll catch y'all in the next one. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of this video and for supporting my YouTube channel. If you want to check out any of my older videos, you can use the 2 links right down here. If you want to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any future videos, you can use the link right up here. The links to all of my social media sites, my Teachers Pay Teacher store, my merchandise store, and my Amazon store are in the description box, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.